Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today is a very windy and sunny day out here. You guys will recognize this location. I promise we're going to be taking a break from this location for quite some time. The only reason why I came out here today specifically is because it's very windy, and the trails that I was at was basically go to a lake where it's going to be too windy to film anything or come back here. So ultimately I chose to hike in here. I do have a very lightweight 4-season/3 season exoskeleton tent that I love. Got that set up, sleeping bag, sleeping pad. I do still have my firewood stash that I left here from last time. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to burn with it though, just basically because of the wind. It is whipping through here, but if I could find enough rocks around the area, I could potentially dig down in the dirt and make a little bit of a fire ring for later on this evening if the wind dies down. So with everything set up for sleeping tonight, let's get started on a coffee. All right, guys, we've got a cup of hot coffee on the go right now. The sun is slowly starting to reposition, so hopefully a lot of this really harsh lighting will be out of the way very soon. There's a big tree here that's just begging to block out that sunlight. Very, very bright. The winds are still kicking up though. Very, very windy. Branches are falling out of the trees. Everything's just going crazy out here, but I'm lucky that I'm nestled in the trees and not in the open, because this tent would be flapping around like crazy. So I'm gonna relax for a little bit, enjoy this cup of coffee. Boomer is trying to sniff out some firewood down here. And we're just gonna relax a little bit. There are a lot of birds chirping in the area too, which is really nice. So this area is great when it's absolutely silent and it's raining. Hear the rain on the tent, the birds chirping. Last trip here was really, really enjoyable. So we're hoping that this time is also enjoyable, because like I said, I'm gonna be taking a break from here and venturing to some new locations and really getting out there and exploring now that certain things have been taken care of. I still have not released what I've been working on for a big project, but if you guys have watched the other channel, Outdoor Adventures, the link is in the description. You guys will probably already know what it is because I showed a little bit of it. So if you haven't seen it, head on over to that channel, check out the latest video as of the upload date of this, and you'll see what I'm talking about. But hang on guys, because I am almost ready to share what I've been working on with you all. So, coffee, going to enjoy this a little bit, going to do a little bit of a cleanup. I don't have to gather any firewood because it's already here if I do get around to lighting a fire. It's basically going to be relaxed and then right into supper time, guys. So cheers, let's enjoy this early evening coffee. Alright guys, it's been quite a while and the winds are still kicking through here like crazy, so trying to work in this area. There's blowing leaves all over my cooking stuff, branches falling. It's getting to be a little bit crazy, but I'm going to attempt cooking right here in the open versus hiding inside of the tent. I brought a very, very simple meal. I was on the fence whether I was going to go camp at a lake. I had my fishing gear ready to go. And at the last minute, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to get out of the wind, going to go in the forest, so obviously no need for fishing equipment in the forest. So what I brought with me was a pack of ramen. These are incredible, by the way. These are hot and sour pork flavor. So I've got that. And then I've got a bag with 2 hot dogs, one for me, one for Boomer. I'm going to fry up the hot dogs in a pan, cut them up into little chunks, and that'll be like a little bit of protein and fat to go in the ramen. I've got green spinach, I've got a chunk of white onion in the Ziploc bag, and that's basically it. Oh, and I do have some naan breads as well. So, fairly simple, very easy to cook. I like meals like this because it's not a whole elaborate setup, very easy. You're going to be doing it on the Trangia, and I'm mentioning this because it's very, very, very windy out here, and this little bit of fuel for the Trangia is incredible versus using one of those isobutane stoves, which the wind just makes those gas stoves super inefficient. And having a fire is obviously really dangerous in this type of condition. So the Trangia, using this fuel, it is literally made for cooking in wind. So it just contains everything really well, uses a very, very bit of fuel. It just works incredibly well. So I'm going to be doing that right here. I'm going to get the pan fired up, get some of this coffee stuff put away too. It is windy. Things are going to get blown all over the place, so get everything in the tent and then start cooking. Alright guys, so cooking up my ramen noodles right now. I've got my veggies and hot dogs already hard cooked pretty much to where I would like it. Boomer's already had his food, but he's getting a little bit close here looking for mine, and he's not getting it because it's got onion in it. One thing I do want to mention with these ramen noodles, a quick little hack. If you're boiling water, I like to put my ramen or pasta in the water as it starts to boil. I don't really want to waste fuel and waste time. So what I'm doing right now, instead of putting my pan on top to make a lid to get the water to boil faster, I'm actually using this puck of ramen as a lid. And essentially what it's going to do is it's going to block the wind, it's going to heat up, it's going to boil faster, but as it starts to boil, that steam is actually going to start to cook the noodles. So it's a lid that is going to start to cook itself. So a little bit of multi-use there. We'll let that do its thing, and then I'm basically going to dump all of the vegetables and the hot dogs into the ramen once it's made, and that'll bring everything back up to temp. Got 3 sauce packets with this. One, I think 2 are liquid. One is dried veggies, so that'll go in first, so the water goes on top of that, and then the liquids, mix it all in, and it's going to be really, really good. I like making this like a soup, like a brothy soup, and I think that's going to go really well. This sun is trying to dip behind this tree, but the wind's blowing it, so it's directly in my face. It is a wind show out here today, so this will be cooked up momentarily. It's actually just about ready. I could probably prop that in there, actually. Oh yeah, there it goes. So it actually softens up the noodle so you can press it down in there without making a big mess, is the plan here. We can push that down a little bit more. Perfect. Now it fits in there and the water's boiling. Alright guys, well, after a hike in the forest today, dealing with all the wind, this might seem like a pretty sloppy meal, but realistically, it's got everything in it that I need. A little piece for Boomer. He wants the hot dog, but he can't have any more because he'll get sick. He already had one, and that's got onion in it. So, let's go in with the naan bread first. some of that sauce. Oh man. So good. Definitely hot and sour. And the hot dog, that hot dog in there just adds that extra little kick of flavor. Really, really good. Now the reason why I went with hot dogs, I may have mentioned this in the last video, the days of carrying in fresh meat as we're coming into warmer temperatures is pretty much over. Hot dogs are somewhat safe to, you know, they're already cooked. Arguably they're gonna go bad, but I'd rather eat a hot dog rather than a piece of beef that's in my backpack for 8 hours. Just saying. Oh, that is so good. Alright, I'm gonna get comfortable here, eat supper, watch the sun slowly dip, and then do a little bit of a cleanup. Alright guys, the sun is setting and it is almost dark in a few more hours. So the winds died down and I decided I am actually going to go ahead with the campfire. It's no longer a danger. I just have to clean the area really, really well, which I'm sure Boomer will help out. So given that I have this firewood here, I might as well use it. So watch out, Boomer. We got to make a little bit of a fire pit. He wants to be in the fire pit. Okay. We're going to try and build a fire pit right here, away from the tent, next to the wood. But I want to be really, really diligent in making sure the ground is clear and the rocks are sufficient. So I did spend the last little while going around collecting these rocks as good as I could without any real tools. So I don't have my saw, I don't have my axe, I don't have any real tools. So we do need to, here, you want that? Go get it. So I do need to clear this area out and make sure it's safe to have a fire. Where's your stick? Your stick. Okay. Alright guys, we've got the campfire going and you'll notice that it's died down a lot and almost looks like it's struggling. It's actually not. All this wood is very, very, very dry. I'm just practicing a technique that I use quite often actually, is when you're having fires of this size and style and fashion with the tent right next to the fire, a little bit of uncontrollable breeze every now and then with the wind, the duff in the ground. I mean, we don't really want the fire going too sporadic. So what I've done is started the fire with some really small pieces, and you can see it's starting to kick up again right now. And then very quickly transitioning from those small pieces directly into round pieces, and then directly into some of the split hardwood. So there's two big pieces of split hardwood on here right now. Underneath of that is round softwood, which is going to fuel that. By doing this, it prevents a lot of flare-ups in the fire. It prevents a lot of spitting and popping and snapping of resin and stuff going all over the place, which will burn the tent, melt holes in it, possibly an ember land off to the side and catch the forest on fire. So switching to hardwood or controlled pieces of wood. If you have a lot of softwood, try to burn rounds or somewhat semi-rounds. That way it controls the burn at slow. If you're going to be throwing in a lot of this twig matter and a lot of these small branches, you're going to end up with a roaring fire that's going to spit embers all over the place and be very uncontrollable. So I actually do have a couple pieces of damp, somewhat punky hardwood here with the bark on it. I'm just going to peel the bark off because sometimes that burns like paper and then it floats away and lands off in the forest and can create fires. So I'm just peeling off the loose bits of bark. I'm not even going to bother burning that. But little pieces like this round hardwood, it's a little damp on the outside, it's round. That right there, put on top, let that slow bake, and when it gets to its turn to burn, it'll basically be dried out and ready to burn. And the shape being round, it'll burn low and slow and long, versus a split piece, which the flames basically have a sharp edge to grab onto. Those will burn a little bit faster, but it being hardwood, it's more controllable. So what I'm going to do right now, put my hardwood on the right side, take that bark off, keep the softwood over here, and I've got a couple more pieces mixed in this pile. I remember this big piece last time I was here, this giant piece of hardwood. It's a big knot, 3 branches coming out of it, and I was going to put this in my wood stove because I was hot tent camping, and I saved it, I think for like 2 or 3 trips that I was here. I just kept putting it off to the side thinking, geez, that's going to be a nice log all night long. I never did burn it, and that's kind of a hot tenter's thing, is we find these beautiful pieces of firewood and we save them and we just sometimes never burn them. Tonight is getting burned. It's going to go on this fire, and that'll be us wrapping up winter with that piece of wood. So get a little bit more air in there so it's not as smoky, and just keep controlling that fire and it'll burn nice and low. Throw a little bit of heat and control the burn so it's not too dangerous. Alright, so the wind is picking up a little bit, and that's exactly the reason why I wanted to switch to larger hardwood pieces. The wind's blowing through here right now. You can see the smoke trailing away. There's really not a lot of embers that are blowing uncontrollably. I'm having a good look at what's going where, and everything's just kind of burning out. Got to keep a very close eye on it. If you guys can listen very closely, you'll hear all those spring peepers, all those little frogs off in the forest. Sounds like thousands of crickets. It's actually frogs. So springtime is definitely here. It's still cool in the evenings. Still very, very cool. Like right now I could put a jacket on. If I sit close to the fire, it is warm enough that I really don't need it. Definitely going to be hot very, very soon. We're going to have to get back out to the ocean, do some oceanside campouts, some cliff tops, do some mountain tops. got a lot of big things planned, so I'm gonna kick back, enjoy this fire for probably quite a while. I'm gonna burn through a fair bit of this wood and welcome the night. It is very, very clear sky above, so there's gonna be stars like crazy up in the sky, which I'm excited to see. So I am gonna be burning this for a while. Boomer's inside, gone to sleep already, relaxing, doing his thing. And yeah, it's that time of the day just to kick back and relax. So I'll likely catch up with you guys inside the tent right after this fire. Alright guys, just about time to crawl inside of the tent. Now I'm not going to be zipping the door totally shut because the fire's still going, so I'm going to lay inside there, enjoying the fire, enjoying the sound of these frogs out here, which is crazy. But I did receive a new toy. I've got a brand new flashlight here, and I've just been tinkering around with this thing, and I'm actually really, really blown away by this. So I'm going to turn on flood mode, and if I can see the buttons. Turn it on flood mode. This thing is crazy bright. And that's not even as bright as it goes. That is flood mode. And then you just turn the dial to spot mode. And again, you can go through the brightnesses. But what's really cool, the battery indicator on this kind of fluctuates. And you can actually change the light to different colors. So you can change it to like a red pulse, you can go to a green, a blue, and it does different modes. You can kind of make it go through different sections here. Rainbow, you go to yellow, red, which is great, and it'll stay on red so you can actually light up the tent nice and red. And it's got a nice little lockout switch. This thing is incredible. I'll give you guys a close-up view of this. I've been messing around with it for like the last 30 minutes. It's actually really slimline. It's nice and brick style. It fits right in my pocket. I'll give you guys a close-up of this real quick. I don't do this very often, but I'm actually really, really blown away by this. Alright guys, so like I was saying, I don't do this very often, but this thing is actually really, really slick. I am really enjoying this. And the reason why I'm talking about a flashlight is I've been getting all kinds of questions asking, what do I use to see at nighttime? This is my new go-to. So here's the lockout mode. Anytime you press the button, the red comes on. You can hold it and use the lock as an actual light. You can switch to flood mode. That indicates full battery charge, and then it goes away. One click, and you go through all the different modes of it. That spot, same thing, different modes. And then you get this side light bar here, which you can go through all the different colors. Double click to switch. Different modes. All kinds of craziness here. I love it. It's awesome. And then again, to lockout. So this is from Loop Gear. This is the SK05 Helm Pro. Super streamlined light. USB-C charge. Has 2 cells in the bottom with a nice lock. Like a really, really tough lock to get that open. Got 2 loop batteries in there. These are 4,000 milliamp hours, 18650 batteries. Very, very nice flashlight. Alright guys, so just crawling inside of the tent. The campfire's still going, the door's wide open. Somewhat organized in here. Still got my shoes on though, so I gotta get those off. But yeah, I really wanted to touch on this. Like, this thing is awesome. Super slimline belt clip. I've been growing very, very fond of these bar style flashlights that are real sleek. And this one just really caught my attention. A lot of great features on there. And sometimes I get asked, what do I use for this? What do I use for that? And I generally don't talk about gear. because what you guys see me use, obviously I like, but that stays in my pocket, and you typically never see a flashlight or a headlamp on my channel unless I talk about it. So that is what I've been using for a light for quite a long time. My headlamp that I've been using for probably a year now, just this one headlamp, has every feature that I like in it. This is from Nightcore. This is the HC65UHE. Beautiful headlamp. All the features in there: red light, warm light, spot, strobe, everything in there. Nice headband, USB-C charge. Again, Nightcore makes incredible products. That's the headlamp I've been using for a long time. So now in my kit is this loop gear light and this Nightcore headlamp, sorry. And that's it. Other than this light up here, I've been getting asked so many questions about this. This is Claris CL2. This is the pedal style light. Also, one more thing up here. I got a lot of lights on this trip. I don't know why. I just kind of packed a few things in my bag and just took off. This is the FlexTail 5.0 pump. So I've got the other part of it right here. This is what I use to inflate my air mattress. It simply screws on and turns into a pump. Now you can use the light feature with that on, and you can switch through different modes, full bright, half bright, but really if you take that off, the light actually works a lot better, and it's not huge with this giant pump thing hanging off the ceiling hitting you in the head. So this is always in my bag now. It makes inflating the mattress so much easier. This winter when I was hot tent camping, I screwed on the other nozzle for this, and it turns it into a bellows. I literally held it in the door to my wood stove and my outdoor campfires to get the fire ripping. You can inflate, deflate, and it works really great. So I've justified bringing this for the light and the pump and the fire bellows. But now I have 4 lights, so I need to eliminate one out of my regular use backpack, and I think I don't know what it might be. It might be the headlamp, actually, honestly, because this light, this loop gear light, has been working really, really well. It can hang, it's magnetic. I don't know, we'll see. I'll probably end up keeping the headlamp in there, probably losing the bellows, to be honest with you, just because I had the pump sack for the pad. I could pump it up, no batteries needed. But who knows, we'll see. I got to get my boots off, get situated in the tent, get the fire's still probably got another hour. I'll let that go. Boomer's down here sleeping. Well, he's awake now. He's staring at me. You coming? Come on. Come on. This is his favorite time of the day. When we shut the camera off, I'm going to have movie time. I've got 2 movies saved on my phone I'm going to be watching. Or no, I actually downloaded a series. What did I download? Titans. I haven't watched Titans yet. I've watched 1 season, and that's as far as I got. So I would like to watch season 2, part of it, tonight. So I'm going to get into that. Let me know if you guys watch Titans and what you think about it. So I'm going to get relaxed, get in here, and I will see you first thing in the morning for coffee. Good night, guys. Good morning, everybody. It is ridiculously crisp and cool out today. Yesterday was 22 to 23 degrees Celsius, and today it is 2 degrees Celsius waking up. Almost freezing. That is like temperatures you find in the desert. So that is why I brought my jacket, my big winter sleeping bag, my winter sleeping pad. Just because it's warm days doesn't mean it's going to be warm mornings or warm nights. So the moon did come out last night, a very small crescent moon. Stars were out, the sky was black as can be. Very, very, very dark. Stars out there was incredible. So as you guys can see, the sun is coming up. I'm shaded by the sun, it's very, very bright. I'm going to enjoy my morning coffee right here and hopefully warm up a little bit. Boomer's running around chasing squirrels and birds and stuff as he usually does. And all in all, last night was actually very, very, very refreshing. The frogs outside were incredible. The birds this morning chirping was incredible. But right now, it's kind of silent. There's no birds chirping, but the winds are starting to kick up again. It got very windy late last night. The tent was rocking around, and then it stopped. But right now, it is definitely starting to get windy again. So I got a feeling it's going to be probably, a mid-temperature day today and filled with a lot of wind. So I'm going to enjoy my morning coffee while it's still hot. And then it's going to be time to start cleaning up. So good morning, everybody, and cheers. Alright guys, so last little bit of coffee here. The birds are starting to come out chirping. That sun is getting higher and I can already feel it warming up. So it might not be as cold today as I think it's going to be, but definitely a chill in the air. My fingers are actually quite cold. I can't even really feel touching things. That's how cold it is. So before it gets too warm, too late in the day, I'm going to have to get the tent taken down, everything packed back up inside the backpack. I haven't been filming that lately just because I think it's a little bit redundant. I already filmed setting things up. Packing things away is just the reverse, honestly. Let me know what you guys think about that, but I just feel packing things up is kind of redundant. It's going back in the backpack. It's very, very simple. I just cram everything in there, head out of here. When I get back to location, then I unfold everything, hang it, dry it, do all that stuff. And I do have a video on that as well. What I do basically to unpack wet tents and how do I air them out and things of that nature. So I'm not going to film it today. I don't know if I'm going to be filming much of it in the future either. Packing up seems a little silly unless I'm on a multi-day trip and that's part of the next day packing up. Then I'll film that because that's kind of the start of the day. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to pack up and I'm going to hike out of here. So I got to get all this stuff organized, make sure this camp area is nice and cleaned up because I don't intend on coming back here for a little bit of time anyways. I would like to venture out, explore some new areas. I do have a very, very interesting toy that is supposed to be coming to me today, which is the reason why I'm up bright and early and heading out of here. And then in a couple of days, I have a very interesting toy that is supposed to be ready. That's all I can say. So stay tuned. Upcoming videos are going to be very, very interesting. Check the other channel as well, Outdoor Adventures. The link is down in the description, where I've already kind of disclosed a little bit of those secrets. not to the fullest, but I have been sharing a lot more on that channel, and big things are about to happen. I know I've been saying that for weeks, but literally about to happen. So for those of you who've been sticking around and are anticipating that, I thank you very much for your patience. And for those of you who are new here on the channel, things are about to kick off in a big way. So thank you guys very much for joining me on this adventure. I'm gonna warm up a little bit, pack up, and get out of here. I'll catch you in the next video.